Good morning. Wow, that was great. It's almost like we're having a party after church or something. So, welcome to Unity of Palmyra. Welcome everyone joining us through the ethers, as Charles Fillmore used to call them, on Facebook and YouTube. Here at Unity of Palmyra, we are centered in love and we embrace a positive path for spiritual living, and haven't we had a tremendous opportunity to do that over the last year and a half, for which we are very grateful. That's what it means to embrace a positive path. We find the good in everything. Sometimes it just takes a little more work than others. We are an open and affirming congregation. We love you exactly as you are in all of your magnificent glory. And if this is your first time here, welcome. We're delighted that you're here. Hopefully you got a welcome packet. And if you have any questions about our community in specific or Unity in general, I would love to talk with you. I did mention we are having a special fellowship today. Ken and I are holding our annual Christmas open house here downstairs after the service, and we probably have enough food for 100 people, so please join us afterwards. And if you're watching and you want to come just for the food, please feel free to do that. So that will be immediately following the service downstairs in the Holy Grounds Cafe. So in that spirit of joy and fellowship and community and food, let's enter into our opening prayer. Let's take a nice, big, deep breath. As we become fully present. Gosh, it's been such a busy week. A busy, joyful week. As we fully embrace this season of Advent, this time of preparation, as we are given the opportunity this month to remember our true nature, to remember what Jesus, our brother and way shower, came to teach us, that he was not the exception, but the example, and that we are all spirit with skin on. We are all spiritual beings having an incredibly human experience. And at this time of year especially, we are reminded of that. As we prepare for the day where we officially celebrate the birth of the Christ consciousness, but we are aware that every day we are reborn. Every day that we remember who we are. In all our glory, we are reborn. And so with that understanding and with that foundation for the hope and faith and peace and love and joy that we celebrate this time of year, we enter into this time with gratitude as we say thank you for this time coming apart for a while. We say thank you for whatever space you are in right now. And most especially, we say thank you for one another. And so it is. Amen. So let's stand and sing our opening carol. And I just want to prime you for the carol that we're going to be singing during Hugs and Handshakes. Janie's going to play through it once, and then we do kind of want you to start coming back to actually sing the carol. If you want to keep hugging through the first verse, feel free. But eventually, guys, we have to come back, okay, from Hugs and Handshakes. I just wanted to prime you for that before we do that. All right. Janie.
Child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch are keeping. This is Christ salvation brings. Let loving hearts enthrone Him. This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring Him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary.
Together in our vision, centered in love, we embrace a positive path for spiritual living. And our mission, wherever we are, we provide a welcoming community that inspires and encourages all who gather here through the teaching, sharing, and practice of universal spiritual principles. So one of the ways we practice those spiritual principles is to honor wherever you are on your journey. So if you are open to a hug at this time, we will bring it on in. If you're more comfortable with a handshake, just put out your hand and we will respect that. And if you want us to leave you completely alone, we understand and we will leave you completely alone. Just stay where you are and we won't bother you. Have a great time.
Verse together. Now we're all collected. Oh, little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie above thy deep and dreamless sleep. The silent stars go by, yet in the dark streets shine the everlasting light. Hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee.
that. Have a seat. That sounded beautiful. All right, a couple of announcements. Our prayer chaplains today are Charles Lee and Helen Baker. Charles will be available after the service, and Helen is over there. She will also be available after the service. If you see the ones with the prayer stools on, those are the prayer chaplains, and they are available to pray with you individually after the service, and they also hold sacred space for us during the service. We are having a winter solstice celebration. I think I'm going to start calling it a winter solstice extravaganza. It's going to be incredible. I've been listening in on the rehearsals. That is being led by Helene and Janie, and that is going to be Tuesday evening, the 21st, actually on the winter solstice. Please feel free to invite friends to that. It's going to be amazing. It's music and meditation and drumming, and it's just going to be awesome. And I'm thinking it might become a tradition here at Unity of Palmyra if you're up for it. Right? Our Christmas Eve service this year, we are having an in-person Christmas Eve candle lighting service this year. Yes, thank you, little baby Jesus. That will be at 7 p.m. We will ask you to please mask during the service. I know a whole bunch of us are vaccinated. I am now boosted, babe. I am so happy. But just to be extra cautious, just because we have been so careful and we have been so blessed in this community, we will ask that you still please do mask, and that will be 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve. It is a family-friendly service. I'm doing my darndest to bring it in at an hour so that we can bring the kids, and I think it's going to be neat. Jamie and I were working on it last week, and I was going over the outline with her, and Ken was listening in, and we thought we really had done a good job with it, and he came out, and he was uncharacteristically a man of few words in this moment, and he said, more music, less talking. Thanks, Alan. He really does not need any encouragement, okay? So it's going to be a lot of music and not a lot of talking. So that should make everybody happy. And as I shared, we are hosting our holiday open house here downstairs immediately following the service. We are going to squirt everyone as you walk downstairs, you know, just because it makes us feel better. But please do join us downstairs for our holiday open house. We realized as we were creating our typical open house menu that, boy, we really are carnivores, man, seriously. We are meat-eating, gluten-eating, dairy-eating people. So we did make adjustments in our normal open house menu for y'all, so hopefully there will be something everybody can enjoy at the open house this afternoon. So, Ms. Misty, if you would like to read the daily word.
Today's daily word is love. Love lights my way. In this Advent season, as I prepare my heart for the rebirth of my inner Christ child, I take a moment to connect with the spirit of love within. Sometimes this season may seem to be about presents, food, and celebrations, but it is really about love. Love is the power upon which the whole world revolves. Especially at this busy time of year, I want to stay attuned to the love of the Christ within. Through this reciprocal power, the love I give returns to me abundantly. Love transcends all, transforming any perceived negativity into a blessing. I express love in all my actions and words. I may give a plate of homemade food or send a heartfelt note of appreciation. Whatever I do, I let the love in my heart be my guide. And from Mark chapter 12, verse 31, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater. light this candle for hope and faith. We light this candle for peace. We light the third Advent candle for love.
I am home, my family is here. I feel loved by the ones I hold so dear. And when my family needs me, I promise to be there. And when I need my family, I'm lifted up in prayer.
So this is a time of our service where we consciously enter into prayer, into that attitude of prayer, of connecting our head and our heart, and of fully integrating our humanity and our divinity. And so I invite you to gently close your eyes and allow yourself to go within. As we create that sacred space of love, centered in love. It is the very beginning of our vision. Our vision not just for this community, but for our world. And so focused on that sacred and powerful space. If any of us is experiencing a challenge or a heartache, I invite you to gently place it into this circle of love, knowing that you will be loved, you will be accepted, you will be comforted, you will be met with compassion. For regardless of what your current challenge is, we behold you in your wholeness. We see through the challenge to your wisdom, your strength, your courage, your love. And we embrace you within that space and within that understanding. And we know for you, even when you can't know it for yourself, that all is well. And if at this time you are experiencing joy or gratitude, we ask you to please share that with us. For those of us who take delight in this season, we invite you to let us sprinkle some of that dust on you. That dust of goodwill, of taking a childlike glee in the lights and the music and the joy. And we come together at this time to share in this space, for we know as community that when we share our problems, our troubles, they are divided, but when we share our joy, it is multiplied. And so we claim the power of prayer, we claim that power of a shared intention, seeing not just our community happy, whole, and healthy, but our world happy, whole, and healthy. We do all of this with a recognition of our innate connection, of our innate oneness. And so we say, Namaste.
The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. You are beautiful. You are whole. You are beautiful. You are whole. You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all?
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. Take it out. Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. You'll go down in history. Ba-dum-bum.
So you'll understand in a minute why we chose that song. I just want to say, other than the fact that it's so fun and so cute, and Jody does such a great job with it. So welcome back to our journey through Advent. So this morning, as you can tell, we are celebrating love. And specifically, we're going to be looking at the power of allowing ourselves to be transformed through love. So I'm going to start again with Reverend Teresa Burton's reflections in the A Christmas to Remember Advent booklet. And I particularly love this one. I know I'm saying that every week, right? But this one, she talks about Christmas movies and the power of Christmas movies. So, you all know I love Christmas movies. So here we go. I love movies. So it's not a surprise that movies are part of what makes Christmas special for me. I never tire of them, even the ones I've seen several or 100 times. I added that part. I like the classics, A Christmas Carol, Miracle on 34th Street, and my favorite, It's a Wonderful Life, and the TV classics, A Charlie Brown Christmas, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the best. Over the years, I have watched these movies with family, with friends, and by myself. Like many, I have favorite scenes and characters. I know what's going to make me laugh, and I know what's going to make me tear up a little. I think that's why I treasure these movies as much as I do. No matter how many years I see them, I'm moved every time. I'm always touched when Charlie Brown's friends decorate his scrawny tree. And I get a little teary when Rudolph leads Santa and his reindeer to the island of misfit toys, because what I'm really witnessing is love in action. I feel happy when Ebenezer Scrooge meets Christmas morning with outpourings of generosity to those he had spurned just the day before. And I feel the same when George Bailey's friends rush to his aid and Harry raises his glass and says, "A toast to my big brother George, the richest man in town." Because I'm witnessing the transformational power of love. And I know I'm not alone. Beyond entertainment, these tender scenes show us something important about ourselves. We have in common the love that elevates us beyond personality and self-centered concern, allowing us to be the vessels through which divine love expresses. To see someone through the eyes of love, to finally see ourselves that way, is truly a Christmas miracle. The experience may be fleeting, no matter. Once we have felt it, the tear in the eye, the lump in the throat, the fluttering of the heart, we can no longer deny love's truth or love's reality. We finally realize that all we can do is obscure it. We discover we have the power to transcend selfish concerns on Christmas and every day of the year, and we know something else. When we finally grow weary of making life so hard, of doing battle within and without, we have a way out and a way up. We can choose love. And from 1 John, so we have known and believed the love that God has for us. God is love, and those who abide in love abide in God, and God abides in them. So yes, I've now watched all 7 versions of A Christmas Carol, some of them multiple times. I was particularly delighted yesterday when we were in the kitchen cooking and we had Cassie, and we had the 1938 version on, the old black and white one, and it was just playing on the TV, and the next thing I know, she's curled up in front of the TV in the kitchen watching the black and white 1938 version of A Christmas Carol. Made my Fifi's heart so happy. Because I think she recognized what Teresa was pointing out in this reading, that it's all about the transforming power of love. So I want to revisit one of the things that she said. No matter how many years I see them, I'm moved every time. We have in common the love that elevates us beyond personality and self-centered concern, allowing us to be the vessels through which divine love expresses. To see someone through the eyes of love, to finally see ourselves that way, is truly a Christmas miracle. So let that sink in. How incredible is that, to see ourselves through the eyes of love? How would you see yourself differently if you saw yourself through the eyes of love? How would you see those that you care about differently? What would that be like if you saw them through the eyes of love? What would it be like to see those you don't care about? through the eyes of love. You know, I was recently reminded in a powerful experience I was privileged to facilitate a couple of weeks ago, that if we believe in our second principle that everyone is an expression of the divine, then that means everyone is an expression of the divine. Do you see how my voice deepened when I said that? Right? That means that Scrooge and Mr. Potter and all the people that we're challenged by are expressions of the divine. Sometimes what they're teaching us, how they're contributing to us, is that we don't want to express the divine in that way. But everyone, so what if we would commit to seeing everyone through the eyes of love? In NLP, there's one of the precepts is to always assume a positive intent. Oh my gosh, what if we would go through life assuming a positive intent? Since we go through life assuming anyway, what if we assume something positive? And I also thought, what if we would extend that practice to our memories? Because remember, the premise of this Advent season is memories, a Christmas to remember. We started off by introducing this season by remembering last year and how it didn't meet some of our expectations. So what if we would be willing to revisit our memories and see them through the eyes of love? You know, a miracle happened when I had kids. All of a sudden, my parents weren't so bad. Right? Not that they were bad to begin with. I've been incredibly blessed with 4 wonderful parents. And yet having children all of a sudden made me realize, you know, they don't give you a manual. And that we're all just figuring it out as we go. And we're all just doing the best that we can. And so I've been able to transform some of those memories through the eyes of love and appreciation and understanding of someone who now has children and grandchildren. So what if we could see last Christmas through the eyes of love? What if we could transform that memory? And by the way, it is possible to transform our memories. Neurologists are now confirming what spiritual masters have known all along, that we can transform our memories. Right? We can perhaps soften them, maybe gain an appreciation that we didn't have before. So, you know, last year we couldn't gather as we were used to, and we couldn't socialize where we were like we were used to. I think we went a little overboard this year on the open house because we couldn't do it last year. We couldn't travel. For many of us, I know we went from 23 on Christmas Eve to 8. So that was something that we weren't used to. And so for many of us, it was a much smaller and quieter holiday, right? So here's a confession. There were some parts of that I liked, right? And it's okay to tell the truth about that. It's okay to look back on those memories and go, you know, I know, you know, we complained about it and we lamented about it and we grieved about it, and that's all, feel free, do all of that. At the same time, are we willing to look back on that time and those memories through the eyes of love and say, maybe there was something good about it. Maybe there was something we can be grateful for about it. Seeing it through the eyes of love. I really appreciated that I could watch our Christmas Eve service in my pajamas. Right? It's usually a work day. I liked that I could watch every possible version of A Christmas Carol or have Rudolph on repeat constantly, and there was no one dropping in to judge me for that. Right? It felt a little bit like some of the pressure was off. Right? It was okay to make it smaller and simpler. And so when I was reflecting on that, what I realized was what happened last year, at least for me, was that the holiday was pared down and made simpler, and we specifically only did that which we most loved, that which we most treasured. in the spirit of keeping everyone safe. And so when I was able to see it that way, through the eyes of love, I was able to transform last year's memories, at least some of them, from sad memories to memories that I could appreciate. And then that got me thinking about other memories. So how can we transform our memories into something we can be grateful for by consciously seeing them through the eyes of love? How can we transform our relationships by seeing them through the eyes of love? How can we transform our work by seeing it through the eyes of love? You know, it's easy to do that with things that we really do love, isn't it? The challenge and the work comes in and the practice comes in when we're willing to even see those things we don't like through the eyes of love and see how they're transformed. You know, New Thought is based on our ability to change our mind. One of Charles Fillmore's favorite verses was Romans 12:2. From the New International Version, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And then this was interesting verbiage. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. You know, we always think about God as testing us, which, by the way, that's not a real thing. Let that one go, okay? But I thought this was interesting, is that we're being encouraged by Paul here to test God. I thought that was interesting. Then, so this is, I like to play with Scripture. So I Googled every possible translation of this. You don't want to know how many hundreds of translations there are of this particular verse, but two of them jumped out at me. One is from the Amplified Bible. So this is the Amplified Bible, is where they go back to the original translation and then they editorialize it and they make it 3 times longer. Hence, Amplified Bible. But I love this. I thought was interesting. And do not be conformed to this world any longer with its superficial values and customs, but be transformed and progressively changed as you mature spiritually by the renewing of your mind, focusing on godly values and ethical attitudes, so that you may prove for yourselves what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect in his plan and purpose for you. Wow, right? I mean, talking amplified, right? But what I loved about that was, do not be conformed to this world any longer with its superficial values and customs. So, you know, back to the Advent candles, right? And back to not having to put out all 13 boxes of my Christmas decorations this year. I'm just saying, I really pared it down to just 10. Okay? You think I'm kidding. I'm not. And be transformed and progressively changed. Progressively changed meaning as we mature. So we change, and then we mature more, and then we change more, and then we mature more, and then we change more. As we mature spiritually, by renewing of your mind, focusing on godly values and ethical attitudes, do the right thing. That's simple. So that we can be in alignment with our purpose. How cool is that? The transformation of our mind is all about being willing to show up in our true nature, to mature spiritually, and to let go of all the shoulds and have-tos and who said's, right? You know, now I wore my pink shoes today in honor of love, but what would have happened if I'd worn white? Seriously, it's after Labor Day, people, right? No. Focus on what's most important. Focus on love. Focus on making that difference in the world that you have come here to make. That's what they're asking us here. Be ye transformed by the power of your mind, by the renewing of your mind. So let's reframe that. Be ye transformed by the power of your love. Can you imagine if everyone on the planet went through their life seeing through eyes of love, centered in love? What an amazing world this would be. So I've been, I'm going to go back to the last series for a second. I've really been focusing on that third question, the third question that Wayne Muller asked in his book, How Then Shall We Live? And that question was, how shall I live knowing I will die? And no kidding, I've been asking myself that question every morning since we studied that, because I've just become exquisitely aware that every interaction I have with someone could be the last interaction I ever have with that person. It could happen, right? Life is impermanent and unpredictable. And so I've been asking myself, is that the last interaction that I want to have with this person? Seeing through the eyes of love. Doing everything in love, even the things that we don't like. Bringing love to everything, consciously, mindfully, purposefully, allowing ourselves to be transformed through that power of love. That's your homework for this week. See the world, see your work, see your loved ones, see your unloved ones. See the people in traffic in front of you. See the person checking you out or the waitress waiting on you. See an in-law or an outlaw. Through the eyes of love. And watch how it transforms you. Watch how it transforms your heart and your mind, and watch how it transforms your world. Be ye transformed by the power of your love. Amen. Let's take that into meditation.
Love shall be our portion. Love be yours and love be mine. Love for God and all of us. Love for plea and gift and sign. Love shall be our portion. Love for yours and love for mine. Love for God and all of us. Love for plea and gift and sign. Love came down at Christmas. Love, lovely love divine. Love came down at Christmas.
So I invite you to breathe in the love so beautifully expressed in that song. As we celebrate the love that came down at Christmas, the love that comes from us every day. The profound, courageous, compassionate, transformative power of love. So I invite you on your next breath to breathe intentionally and consciously into your heart space. Focus on that area around your heart. Breathe into it. Visualize it expanding with every breath. Visualize it warming and glowing. Picture candlelight or a cozy fire. This represents the warmth of your love. And with every breath, picture that glow expanding. Beyond your heart, beyond your physical body. In your mind's eye, see that golden glow extending throughout the room. As we see your love and the love of those around you embracing in joyful recognition. For this love is the truth of who we are. Yearning to be expressed. Focusing on that glow, I invite you to think of a loved one, of someone that you deeply care for. Extend that glow to them now. See it floating and swirling and dancing through the ethers until it touches them gently on their heart. And picture them smiling as they receive your love. And now, very gently, bring to mind a relationship that may be troubled. An individual who you may be experiencing challenge with. And extend to them that same love. Visualize that glow, that warmth that is your love, swirling and dancing through the ethers. See it touch them and warm them, and perhaps bring a smile to their face. This is the transforming power of love. And now finally, bring to mind a memory that may cause you to feel some sadness or some regret. And send that glow back through the waves of time to touch that memory with love. Allow yourself to see it differently, to experience it differently. Allow that memory to be transformed by the power of love. As we celebrate the love that came down at Christmas and the love that we are every day.
Love came down at Christmas. Love, a lovely love divine. Love came down at Christmas. Stars and angels gave the sign. Love came down at Christmas. Love came down, love divine. Love was born at Christmas. Stars and angels gave the sign. Star and angel gave the sign.
That was beautiful. Thank you. So this is the time of our service where we say thank you, thank you, thank you for all of your incredibly generous contributions to this community and the work of this community. We love giving money back out into the world from what you give us and supporting us in doing that in very important work in the world of embracing a positive path for spiritual living. For those of you who were part of our visioning process 3 years ago, we were very intentional in choosing that vision because we realized that in the world today, people are hungry for a positive approach. And so we take this very seriously. In that visioning, we visualized us being this little bright spot in the middle of Lebanon County, just this little bright, cheery spot. And so that was part of our intention, our goal, and our vision. So thank you for what you give to this community. It extends far beyond these walls, and we are very, very grateful.
Get so busy that you miss giving just a little kiss to the ones you love. Don't even wait a little while to give them just a little smile, a little is enough. How many people are crying? People are dying. How many people are asking for love? So don't save it all for Christmas Day. Find a way to give a little love every day. Don't save it all for Christmas Day. Find your way, 'cause holidays have come and gone, but love lives on if you give on. Love. How could you wait another minute? A hug is warmer when you're in it, and baby, that's a fact. And saying I love you's always better. Seasons, reasons, they don't matter, so don't hold back. How many people in this world, so needful in this world? How many people are praying for love? So don't save it all for Christmas Day. Find a way to give a little love every day. And don't save it all for Christmas Day. Find your way, 'cause holidays have come and gone, but love lives on if you give on. Love. Let all the children know everywhere that they go, their whole life long, let them know love. So don't save it all for Christmas Day. Find a way to give a little love every day. And don't save it all for Christmas Day. Find your way, 'cause holidays have come and gone, but love lives on. Give on. Love.
Let's stand and share in our unity blessing, and let's particularly bless our musicians who are working double and triple time this time of year for us. Together, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in each and every one of you. Yes, we do. Let's sing the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And wherever God is, all is well. Amen. Go forth this week and be the love that you are, and allow that love to transform the world. And come on downstairs. I can smell things cooking up here. And enjoy the open house with us. Bye-bye, Facebook and YouTube land. We love you.